What's good? What's good? I'm back. Yours truly, one and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett Podcast, aka Triple P, aka the Common Sense Podcast, your source for music, sports, politics, world events, and much, much more. Don't forget that I pre-recorded this video for YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Rumble, BitChute, Twitch, and Twitter as well. And the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker, iHeartRadio, Player FM, and much, much more. I'm getting to last night's games. Both were elimination games, and both teams that were facing elimination were eliminated. Knicks lost to the Heat. I'm going to go over that game first. And I'm going to go over what moves I think these teams should look into on the offseason. Heat withstand Brunson's 41. Like I said, Jalen Brunson got screwed. He should have been in the third team All-NBA. RJ Barrett gave you 11, 15 from Randall, 41 from Brunson, and 11 from Josh Hart. I mean, it was just Brunson. 14 for 22, 63% shooting, 5 for 10 from threes. Jalen Brunson is worth every penny that he got. And Dallas Mavericks definitely screwed up. They could have got him for less, had him signed, and still had him under contract. If I'm Luka, I definitely got to be a little upset about that. Jimmy Butler gave you 24, 23 from Bam Adebayo, 14 from Max Strus, and Kyle Lowry gave you 11 with 9 assists off the bench as well. So that's 20 points he helped generate. And the Miami Heat are advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals. Eric Spoelstra is definitely one of the best coaches in the league. Definitely probably a top 3 coach in the league. He does more with less. And Jimmy Butler is definitely underrated on the impact he has just being on the court. He was only 7 for 22, and they still won. It was the rest of the Knicks players. All right, let's get into Golden State. Got spanked by the Lakers, 122 to 101. Nobody did nothing for the Warriors but Steph Curry and Dante DiVincenzo off the bench with 16. Curry gave you 32. Nobody else scored over 10 points on the starting. Lakers, you got a lot of balance. 23 from Austin Reeves, AR-15. 30 from LeBron with 9 assists, 9 rebounds, 1 and 1 away from a triple-double, along with 2 steals, a block, and only 2 turnovers, which he probably had to do because Anthony Davis might still be having effects from getting hit. Actually, I can't tell. He had 17 points and 20 rebounds. So, that's the thing. Long as AD's rebounding super heavy and blocking shots, and he had 2 blocks, 2 steals to go along with that, you could have, LeBron or Austin Reeves or D'Angelo Russell can step up and score more. 19 from Russell, 13 from Lonnie Walker, the 4th. And I forgot Tristan Thompson plays with the Lakers now. A little bit of experience. Malik Beasley, Troy Brown, Jared Vanderbilt, Lonnie Walker, Rui Hachimura. Lakers are very, very deep. And they changed up the lineup. Darvin Ham started Dennis Schroeder at point guard. D'Angelo Russell at 2 guard, which he's kind of more of a 2 guard anyways. And Austin Reeves at small forward, which Austin Reeves is probably, what is he? He's 6'5". You could play small forward at 6'5" nowadays and put LeBron at power forward. All right, let me go over what I think Knicks should do in the offseason. If I'm the Knicks, the only person that is not tradable is Jalen Brunson. But I am taking calls on RJ Barrett. I'm definitely trying to see what I could get for RJ Barrett. I like RJ Barrett, but RJ Barrett, I don't know if he can be the 3rd guy on your championship team. Julius Randle That's the thing. They might need a better player than Julius Randle too. If I'm the Knicks, I'm trying to get Jaylen Brown. If Jaylen Brown becomes a free agent, I'm trying to get Jaylen Brown. Try to pair him with Jalen Brunson. And even if you got to do a sign and trade with RJ Barrett, you could throw in like Obi Toppin. Try to get off the Evan Fournier contract and throw in maybe Emmanuel Quickly if you have to. I like that. Julius Randle, Jaylen Brown, and Jalen Brunson. And if you can keep Josh Hart coming off the bench with Mitchell Robinson and maybe Quentin Grimes coming off the bench, I like that. If I'm the Knicks, I'm going after Jaylen Brown. I'm all in on Jaylen Brown. If the Heat win or lose, I'm all in on Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown really fits Heat culture. Jaylen Brown fits Heat culture. Jaylen Brown fits New York culture because New York right now, Knicks culture, and it's always been that in their like Patrick Ewing days, it was just a hard working team. You know, John Starks, Greg Anthony, Anthony Mason, and Charles Oakley, Patrick Ewing. That's just like a bunch of hard-working guys. They weren't necessarily the most talented or most skilled, except for Patrick Ewing before the knees went out. Warriors come out and play. All right, so what am I doing if I'm the Warriors? Man, let me take a sip on this. Some people are saying run it back. You can't run it fully back. Anybody saying run it back, I don't care if Kerr's saying it, run it fully back. He's delusional. He's not watching his own team closely. Number one, Jordan Poole's got to go. There's already rumors out there, allegations that the team is not digging Jordan Poole right now. They're a little upset with Jordan Poole. And, you know, it kind of feels like the Kevin Durant thing all over again, except worse because Draymond did punch Jordan Poole in the offseason. And, like, I don't know if I could be playing with a guy after he punched me like that. I think I'd have probably had to ask for a trade after that punch. Because I'd have to get my punch back on that one. I mean, that Jordan Poole's got to go. See what you can get for Jordan Poole. I know people are saying, I've heard people say New York should go after Jordan Poole. Depends on what you're going to give up. If we're giving up like Josh Hart and Emmanuel Quickly, I might would do it. Josh Hart and Emmanuel Quickly for Jordan Poole, might would do it. Actually, if I'm the Warriors, I definitely would do that. Josh Hart and Emmanuel Quickly, I would definitely do that. I don't know if the Knicks would do it. Jordan Poole would make that second or third score that you need, you know, probably night in, night out if he's on the Knicks, because he'll probably start. You could have a start lineup of Brunson, Jordan Poole, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett if you can keep RJ Barrett, because I don't know that the Warriors would want RJ Barrett. They already got Wiggins. I don't know that. So if they could get Manuel Quickly and Josh Hart, I might would do that. At the Warriors. But you got to throw it out there and take the best deal. Klay Thompson, man. Klay can't get max dollars. Klay's not worth max dollars no more. Klay's not even a starter no more. If I'm them, I sit Klay down and I tell him, like, look, man, we can't give you a max deal, and we need you coming off the bench. We need to be looking to get another. Because to be honest with you, I mean, you can start Manuel quickly is getting to the point where he could probably start soon. Josh Hart could start over Clay and have Clay come off the bench, man. But I still think they got to make a decision between Draymond and Clay. I think one of them's got to go. Jordan Poole's got to go, and I think Draymond or Clay's got to go. Especially if Clay's want max dollars, he got to go. If the Warriors give him max dollars, they're not winning the championship again. He's got to take below max dollars. I'd give Draymond max dollars before I give him max dollars. Wiggins already locked in. Gary Payton the second. I don't know how long his contract is, but he's locked in probably for another year. I'd keep DaVincio. Moses Moody ain't too bad. Some of these other cats, though, these young cats. Jonathan Kuminga. I would throw Jonathan Kuminga on the market, see what I could get. See if I can get a veteran from Jonathan Kuminga. He's just not showing enough for a guy who played in the G League Ignite team, which is he didn't go to college. He went straight to the G League and had a really good season with him and Jalen. What is his name? I can't think of his name for the Houston Rockets right now. Jalen Green. So many Jalens. Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brown, Jalen Green. Yeah, Jalen Green played with him in the G League, and they balled out together. But he just ain't. Jonathan Kuminga is just not there yet. That's the thing. The Warriors are trying to transition from vets to have some of these young cats pick up the slack, and it didn't work. And it hasn't worked so far. So, yeah, if I'm the Knicks, I'm going after Jaylen Brown. If I'm the Warriors, I'm definitely trading Jordan Poole. If I'm the Warriors, I'm going after Jaylen Brown too, to be honest with you. If I could trade Jordan Poole and Clay for Jaylen Brown, I'm doing it. I'm doing it all day long. Jaylen Brown, Steph Curry, Draymond, Wiggins, Gary Payton II, Dante DaVincio, Looney, and then you still got Kuminga and Moody if you do that. And I want to talk about Kendrick Perkins real quick. Kendrick Perkins, it's funny now that Kendrick Perkins actually tried to come out on ESPN and basically, in his own words, Kendrick Perkins' words, not mine, that Nikola Jokic is the best player in the world right now. Do I think Kendrick Perkins believes that? No, I don't. I think he's pandering. I think it has everything to do with what he said before that when he's like, no, I'm not wearing my sunglasses to block all these Denver Nugget fans for going at me. As they should. As they should, because Kendrick Perkins made the MVP vote about racism, and that's why the MVP vote has no more credibility as far as I'm concerned. And they got to make the All-NBA positionless because it has no credibility as far as I'm concerned right now. Not even because Jokic wasn't in the first All-NBA first team, but Domantas Sabonis should have been higher. Jalen Brunson wasn't even in the first, second, or third All-NBA. Jalen Brunson should at least been in third. I would have took LeBron out. I would have took Damian Lillard out. I would have took Julius Randle out and replaced him with Brunson, Ja Morant, and Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards should have been top 3 All-NBA teams. Ja Morant did get snubbed. He should have been in there. So they got to go positionless. They got to go 15 best. Because I can almost name 15 players better than LeBron right now. LeBron is definitely going to be more in the top 20 next year. And Julius Randle is not a top 15 player. I don't care what anybody says. Julius Randle is not a top 15 player in the NBA, but Jalen Brunson was. Jalen Brunson. So I would definitely switch out the Knicks guys or just Jalen Brunson for Dame in place of Damian Lillard. Anthony Edwards in place of LeBron. And John Morant should have been in there too. So he got snubbed. And Sabonis should have been higher because he was top 5 in MVP race, in the MVP race of MVP votes. And he was like second team. Jokic was second team, or Sabonis was third team, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he was third team with Fox. He should at least been second team, at least. Jokic should have been first team if he's the best player in the world. And Jokic, clearly is showing that he's the MVP. Because Embiid was not the MVP last game. He complained about not getting the ball at the end of the game. He didn't ask for it. He didn't demand it. And that's the thing. The offense doesn't run through Embiid. It doesn't run through Embiid like it runs through Jokic. Jokic plays point center. He's a point center. Point center, man. Jokic get the rebound and bring the ball up on a fast break, dish on a fast break, pull up, shoot a three, do whatever. The offense totally runs around Jokic. Jokic makes everybody around him better. Embiid doesn't make everybody around him better. He doesn't make Tyrese Maxey better. They make themselves better. James Harden makes himself better. It ain't Embiid. Embiid isn't making Tobias Harris better. That's part of being the MVP. Do you make everybody around you better, which makes their jobs easier? Giannis makes everybody around him better. Jokic makes everybody around him better. Embiid doesn't necessarily do that. Embiid doesn't do that. There's not too many players in the NBA that makes everybody around him better. Steph Curry makes everybody around him better, but his guys are getting old. That's the only problem. Jimmy Butler, I would argue, when he's healthy, makes everybody around him better. Donovan Mitchell doesn't. Jalen Brunson, I would say, made everybody around him better for the Knicks. There's only a handful of guys that does this. Jason Tatum doesn't necessarily make everybody around him better. LeBron used to. John Morant doesn't. There's not too many guys. Booker doesn't make everybody around him better. Kevin Durant doesn't. There's not a lot of guys that make everybody around them better. They're just the best scoring team, best scoring guy on the team. This is the problem that I think most people lose sight of in the NBA. All these so-called experts, analysts, commentators, they always lose sight of that just because you're the number one guy on a team doesn't mean that you could be the number one guy on a championship team. That's where you always have to analyze. Can you be number one on a championship team? Not too many small guys can be number one on a championship team. Normally, you got to be a shooting guard or a wing player to be the number one on a championship team. Or back in the days, you could be a center. But it's not. But right now, it's the centers. When you think about all the big men, Giannis, Jokic, Embiid, Anthony Davis right now in the playoffs, a tremendous effect in the playoffs. The big men are affecting the game more than anything this year, except when you get to the Heat, it's really Jimmy Butler. I mean, Lakers, it's without Anthony Davis, they ain't there. Nuggets, Jokic. Celtics really is wings, but they got two wings. That's the thing. They got two wing guys. And one of them has a number one mentality, but a quote-unquote number two game. And the other one has a number two mentality, but a quote-unquote number one game. But I honestly think Jason Tatum, I don't know if he's can be the number one guy on a championship team. I almost think he has to be your number two. I almost think he has to play with who's somebody in it. Like he would have to play with somebody like Embiid or Giannis. I think he would need like a Giannis or an Embiid or Jokic. One of those guys. Or maybe even a Steph Curry. I don't know. That's the thing. We got to stop expecting everybody to be able to be the number one guy on a championship team. Because this is the thing, man. Somebody got to be leading scorer on the team. Somebody. Every NBA team, somebody got to be leading scorer. Just because you're the best guy on the worst team doesn't mean that you're really the guy for a championship team or even the second best. And I think that's where the Hawks over, I like DeJounte Murray, but you took like the best guy from one of the worst teams and you paired him with Trae Young like this is supposed to be the dynamic backcourt. You should have picked somebody like maybe if it was Bradley Beal, it would have probably been different. If they would have paired Bradley Beal to the Hawks with Trae Young, it would have been a lot different. Lot different. Okay, well, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in, Paul Pickett Podcast, and I'm out.